Good evening and welcome to the Newman City Council regular meeting, June 24th, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and stand for the hymn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together today in a spirit of generosity. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Pimentel.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ball.
Here.
Councilmember Tomlinson.
Here.
Councilmember Harden. Mayor Graham.
Here. Any declarations of conflicts of interest tonight? None. Ceremony is done. Items from the public, non-agenda items. Anybody wishing to speak from the public, please go up to the podium and state your name. All right. Seeing none, we'll move on. Consent calendar. A, waive all readings of ordinance and resolution except by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the June 10th, 2025 meeting. D, adopt a resolution 2025 next number, a resolution approving the Regional Solid Waste Disposal Plan Memorandum of Understanding between the City of Newman and Stanislaus County and authorizing the mayor to execute the Memorandum of Understanding. E, approve a Memorandum of Understanding between the Valley Water Collaborative and Groundwater Sustainability Agencies in the Delta Mendota Subbasin and authorize the city manager to sign on behalf of the City of Newman Groundwater Sustainability Agency.
Move we adopt the consent calendar.
Got first, do we have a second?
A second.
First and second, going to vote electronically. Motion carries 4 with 1 absent. Item number 9, public hearings. A, adopt resolution 2025 next number. A resolution confirming the assessment and ordering the levy for lighting and landscaping maintenance district for the fiscal year 25 and 26. Lou, welcome.
Thank you. Evening, Mayor and members of the Newman City Council. This is part 4 in our saga of the Lighting and Landscape District. This is the final chapter that we have to go through, and basically at this point, all we're doing is authorizing the city to contact NBS and have them apply the levy for next year. The Lighting and Landscape District funds go to pay for the street light costs in those zones. There are 15 of them in our city, and they go to pay for the maintenance of the different parks and ornamental areas in those areas. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? I'll open up to the public for any comments or questions. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for action.
Move we adopt item 9A, or adopt resolution number 2025, resolution confirming the assessment and ordering the levy for the lighting and landscape maintenance district for fiscal year 25-26.
We have first.
I'll second that.
We have first, second, going to vote electronically. Motion carries 4 with 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Item number 9B, first reading and introduction of ordinance 2025 next number, an ordinance amending Title 5 zoning and the municipal code to implement program 1.2 of the 6th cycle 2023 through 2031 housing element update. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor. So tonight we are going to do another program where we're implementing our housing element. As you know, it was back in October of 24. You adopted our housing element. As part of the adoption of that process, there were a number of programs we had to move through. We've done a couple of them. Housing, the safety element was as part of one. At our last meeting, we completed a general plan amendment rezone process for nine properties. And move those on to a high-density residential zoning designation. Then that would allow them to get 20 units to the acre. Today, we're looking at Program 1.2. Program 1.2 is a series of amendments to our zoning code and to the permitting zoning to permit zoning for a variety of housing types. So these are all some of the things that the state has placed not only upon us. I'm assuming they're putting these on the other cities as well. Some of these are already in state law, but not adopted as part of our zoning code. So they want to see them move in as part of our zoning code. So we've done an ordinance for you. We've ran this ordinance by Ms. Anastasia in our legal counsel, and she's liked what she saw so far. So first thing we're going to do is we have this list up here, but I'm going to go through the ordinance letter here. We've done some definitions here: emergency shelter. The state, in all their wisdom, likes to change definitions of things. So they changed the definition of emergency housing, low barrier navigation center, single room occupancies. Those are things that they wanted us to add as a definition into our zoning code. And then we're going to get into Title 5, which is our zoning, but then we're going to go into different zoning districts. And some of those zoning districts, what we're going to be looking at is putting supportive and transitional housing are going to be allowed by right in all of our zoning districts. And so we'll be doing that. And also in the low density residential area, we are changing it to where there is no minimum lot size right now. Minimum lot size is 6,000 square feet. And that's pretty traditional. Most people move to Newman because they want a yard and they want a backyard. They want to be able to do things. And so the state, again, in all their wisdom, is saying that you can't set a minimum lot size. You look at it from a general plan perspective, and our general plan says we need to do 3 to 6 units to the acre. So we added language that says there is no minimum lot size for any lot created on or after June 1st, 2025. Per the city's general plan, residential density shall be in the range of 3 to 6 units per gross acre. Lot sizes within this destination would typically range from 6,000 square feet to half an acre. So, I mean, we're accomplishing what we want. I mean, that's what I think people who move to Newman are looking for, a lot with some yard in it. We also offer lots that don't. We have smaller lot residential as well. So, but as our legal counsel will say, your general plan is basically your constitution for your city. So we just inserted the language from the general plan. I think that still keeps our planning commission and our goals set in terms of what we're trying to create as a community here. One of the other things we'll be looking at is setting the minimum density for the R3. R3 is our multifamily zone district, and we're going to set that at 20 units to the acre. In the R3 zone district, as you can see here, bullet point number 4, will no longer allow single-family residential to be built in the R3 zone district. So anything that's already in the R3 zone district is considered legal non-conforming, meaning you don't have to tear it down. You can sell it. You can continue to be a part of it. If it gets destroyed over 50%, you would have to get a use permit from the city to rebuild it. They just don't want to see any more single family in the multifamily in the zone district. I think the reason they're trying to do that is they're just trying to get cities to produce more housing, more units. And if you're doing single family, there's no way you can get 20 units to the acre really on a single family. Comply with density bonus law. We're already working on that, so we've updated that. The next one's a pretty big one. Upper story residential uses in all commercial zoning districts right now by right as a permitted use. Right now, you can do second floor residential in the downtown area. You just have to get a use permit, and we've had a couple of those go through. Now they can develop those as by right, so you don't have to go through planning commission approval to meet those requirements. Acknowledge and facilitate ministerial approval. That's B9. We're working on that. It says reduce parking standards, but we adopted their parking standards, but ours are pretty close, and I don't really see a net difference in that because that was really for that's for the multifamily side, not for the single family side. Then we move on to changing some of these other ones. Permit single room occupancy. So a single room occupancy, if you think about it, is just somebody's just renting a room. So we're going to allow those by right in the commercial areas and the professional office and R3 zones. So this is the one that's kind of eliminate open space and parking requirements specifically for single room occupancies in the C1, C2, and PO. We don't have open space requirements and parking requirements for single room occupancy, so that's kind of redundancy. Reduce minimum floor. FAR stands for floor area ratio. So what you do is you look at how big your house is, you take that square footage, you use that as a percentage of your entire lot, and you can only cover a certain amount of your lot. So it says reduce minimum floor area, but they're using it in a different term here, so we just kind of skipped over that. Define transitional and supportive housing in accordance. Those were some of the definitions I talked about earlier. And then explicitly permit transitional and supportive housing in all zones. We talked a little bit about that too. Permit zone supportive housing by right in zones where multifamily and mixed use are permitted. We don't have a lot of those right now. If you've been in, and that's already state law, so it's just not in ours. We would have to do it anyways. They just want to see it in our code. Talked about updating the definition of emergency shelters. Reduce minimum lot size. So if somebody wanted to come in and do a lot size for an emergency shelter in our industrial area, they could do that if they had a 2,500 square foot lot or greater. Establish parking requirements for emergency shelters. We've done that in compliance with AB 139. Again, this is just us putting state law into our code. Permit large residential care facilities of 7 or more in the same zones as small residential, and those are all our residential zone districts. And then define low barrier navigation center. We didn't have any of that, so that would be a new chapter in our zoning code. And it'd be chapter 30, be Title 5, chapter 30, and it's known as low barrier navigation centers. With that, Mayor, tonight we're just introducing this, and we're going to hold a public hearing on this matter to see if any members of the public have any comments. Because again, this is program 1.2, the housing element. If we elect not to proceed forward, we would be subject to the state looking at us in terms of not being compliant with our housing element and possibly be decertified. And if we get it decertified, then the state comes in and takes over land use control for your community. So it's our recommendation that the council introduce program 1.2, the housing element, as well as holding the public hearing today.
So just for clarification, the state is telling the city how they need to develop their city, in essence, and how they have to use the land within their city.
Yes, these are all things that the state told us we need to do.
And if we don't comply, then we'll lose certification and get fined, likely.
A couple things we could potentially get fined, and if we get decertified, the state could take over land use control and just allow developers to come in and develop whatever they want.
So they're forcing the community to accept the rules and regulations.
Correct.
Anyway,
Lose some access to grants.
grants, yeah, lose money to grants and federal funding or state funding. Okay. Any questions from council? I'll open up to the public for any questions or comments. Well, thank you for that. Just one more comment from me. I don't agree with the state or larger government telling smaller governments how they need to run their things and impressing on us what they want, but that's just my opinion. So I'll bring it back to council for action.
I move that we approve the first reading and introduction of ordinance number 2025, an ordinance amending Title 5 zoning of the municipal code to implement program 1.2 of the sixth cycle of 2023 to 2031 housing element update.
We got first.
I'll second.
We have first and second. All right. Motion carries 3-1 with one absent. Thank you, guys. Item number 10, regular business. A, adopt resolution 2025, next number, a resolution adopting the City of Newman Urban Forest Management Plan.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I want to introduce Ann from Davie Resources Group. She's part of the team that put together the Urban Forest Management Plan, the item we're bringing to you this evening. Ann's going to have some slides to show you to talk over the Urban Forest Management Plan. Ultimately, this document's going to help us plan out our growth of our urban forest over for the future of Newman. I'll let Ann do the presentation, and if you have any questions, I think after the slides is probably the best time for it, and then we can go from there. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thanks for this opportunity to present to the council this evening. My name is Ann Fankner. I'm a municipal arborist. I'm also a project developer for Davie Resource Group. I'm really delighted to be with you this evening and to present your urban forest management plan. I'll begin with an introduction to what the urban forest is and why it's important. Next, I'll summarize the components of the plan and then talk about an overview of the plan's implementation. Thanks, that worked great. The advancing, appreciate it. So before I dive into the plan itself, I'd like to identify a few terms, and that is, what is an urban forest? Well, it's all the trees that the city is responsible for, such as the right-of-way trees, parks, as well as the trees on private property at your home. Collectively, that is the urban forest within the city limits. An urban forest plan is a long-term strategic framework that guides the management, protection, and expansion of trees and green spaces within your city. Typically, they are from either 20 years or 40 years. The plan serves as a vital role for demonstrating the value and benefits of trees to the community, highlighting current challenges in the urban forest, and identifying opportunities for growth, resilience, and equity. By setting out a shared vision for the urban forest for the future, this plan helps align community goals with necessary resources, policies, and actions to support them. It includes both short and long-term goals and objectives with flexible timelines that can be adapted to changing community needs and budgets. Ultimately, the urban forest plan ensures that the city's green infrastructure continues to thrive and contributes to the environmental health, desirability, livability, and community well-being for generations to come. The development of Newman's urban forest plan began in April of 2023 when the city contracted with Davie Resource Group to undertake a wide range of analyses and assessments that were used to build a comprehensive and informed plan. We inventoried all the public trees to understand the species composition, health, and distribution, conducted a geospatial canopy assessment that mapped the community tree canopy using high-resolution aerial imagery. We reviewed and updated the recommended species lists. We held in-depth conversations and listening sessions with city staff about current operations and practices. And we conducted a policy review to assess how existing regulations support and impact the urban forest. We engaged with multiple city departments and stakeholder groups involved in the urban forest care and preservation to gather their input and perspectives. Again, community input was central of this process, and as was adding more trees to the city of Newman. So all of these insights and activities were synthesized and directly informed the development of your urban forest management plan. An analysis of the high-resolution aerial imagery revealed Newman's average tree canopy cover is approximately 6.9%, indicating significant opportunities for expansion. In contrast, 56.1% of the land is covered by impervious surfaces, meaning buildings, streets, sidewalks, and other hardscape. Canopy data was broken down by parks, school properties, public versus private land, and the socioeconomic indicators to identify disparities in tree cover among different neighborhoods. The urban forest plan includes an analysis of the city's public tree inventory, which currently comprises of 2,239 trees located within the public right-of-way. The inventory gathered data on tree size and age distribution, overall health condition, species diversity, maintenance needs. And a full summary of these findings are in your plan. I was asked to keep this presentation short, so I'll do so. Your Public Works department, specifically the superintendent, oversees a team of 12 staff members, 7 of whom spend time or part of their time on tree-related work. This is really where most of the budget goes to. Routine maintenance such as pruning, planting, removals, and providing emergency tree care as needed. In order to ensure alignment with other city documents, the Urban Forest Management Plan included a thorough review of existing city policies and regulations. Some of the documents reviewed were specific to the city of Newman, such as municipal code, the general plan, the street tree plan, as well as relevant county, state, and federal policies. The planning process included an evaluation based on the indicators of sustainable urban forests. This is a widely recognized tool for assessing the current condition of the urban forest, program effectiveness, and community engagement. The goals and actions outlined in the Urban Forest Management Plan are built on and align with these existing documents and benchmarking tools. Trees in the urban forest is a shared responsibility that extends beyond Public Works Department, so a wide range of stakeholders were engaged. This includes city leaders and departments, nonprofit organizations, cheers to the Rotary, state agencies, and residents. Their feedback was collected through meetings and surveys and then compiled and analyzed. Key insights such as these in the call-out boxes were highlighted throughout the Urban Forest Plan to ensure community voices are reflected in the plan. Worth noting, the city identified and coordinated a large tree planting as part of this project. Davy Arborists came in and trained the California Conservation Corps in planting 200 trees. So these trees are now, they've been inventoried and are now part of your maintenance cycle. I'd like to speak a little further about community involvement, specifically the importance of capturing the community voice and intentions. Beyond simply informing residents, our process really emphasized sharing data and active listening. We meet people where they are. Pop-ups were conducted at the Fall Festival and at a soccer tournament, and then a formal public meeting was held online so that it could be recorded, and a survey welcomed opinions on the management of the urban forest. This community input plays an important role in shaping the goals, priorities, and objectives outlined in the implementation plan. So let me jump over to that. An implementation plan is an important aspect within the Urban Forest Management Plan because it turns goals into actions. It outlines clear steps, timelines, responsibilities, and resources needed to carry out the plan and guide the day-to-day operations. Newman's implementation plan is structured around 3 primary goals. Each goal is supported by specific objectives and action steps designed to grow and strengthen the city's urban forest program while promoting practices that are both forward-looking and rooted in industry best managed practices. So goal number 1, routine and high-quality care for city trees. This goal addresses the need for adequate staffing and training. It focuses on identifying the appropriate number of personnel to meet the city's maintenance needs and providing ongoing training to the staff. Number 2, increasing overall tree canopy cover. This goal supports updates to the tree ordinance, clarifying maintenance responsibilities and enhancing protections during construction, and improving communication around tree removals. It aims to create a stronger framework for expanding and protecting canopy coverage. Goal number 3, enhancing resilience and sustainability of the urban forest. This goal focuses on keeping the urban forest healthy amid challenges such as pests and drought and climate-related stressors. It emphasizes proactive strategies to increase the forest's ability to adapt and thrive over time. This implementation plan really underscores the importance of the Urban Forest Management Plan as a living document. It is flexible enough to adjust as resources shift and community priorities evolve. We really encourage regular reviews to monitor its progress and to ensure that the recommended actions are reflected in the city's annual planning and budget efforts. Wow, that takes us to the end. Hope you found the very quick presentation engaging. And at this time, welcome comments and questions.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the information you gave us. That's good. The trees are beautiful here, so we love them.
Agreed. The trees are beautiful here.
Any questions? No?
I'd like to add, Mr. Mayor, just to emphasize, Ann did touch on it, but we did have input from internally in Public Works, but internally in the city too, along with our community outreach. And special thanks to Cal Fire for the grant. They the project cost approximately $270,000. $203,000 was a grant. The rest was city match. And that money allowed us to plant those 200 trees and develop this plan, along with bringing the Conservation Corps out to help plant those 200 trees with Davy Group's arborist guidance. And so I want to do a special thanks to them and thanks to the council for considering this plan.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate that. All right. Any questions? No. I'll bring it back to council for action.
All right. Move to adopt resolution number 2025, a resolution adopting the City of Newman Urban Forest Management Plan.
I'll second.
We have a first and second. Go ahead. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Ann. We appreciate your time tonight.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much.
This has been an absolute pleasure to serve the city of Newman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
I forgot to mention earlier, when I started the meeting, we had a closed session. There was nothing notable to report from that meeting. Item number 12, items from the city manager and staff.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank Ann for coming tonight. Our urban forest canopy, our trees are very important to our community. Obviously, it keeps communities and neighborhoods shaded, cuts down on your energy bills. But mostly, this project was originally started with our dear friend and our lovely former Public Works Director, Catherine. And so this is her legacy that will be here throughout our community. She loved our trees. She loved our community about that. And so I want to thank Ann for completing that and doing that with her, because this is something that'll touches a lot of us. And so I fought with her a little bit about what do we need that for? But she always won out. So anyways, so it's good that thank you for adopting that today. Just a couple quick items. We did some police officer interviews last week. We have two candidates that we're putting in the background. We have one vacancy right now. So we're going to put those two in the background and see where that goes. And then also, in case you know somebody or in case somebody's listening, we are recruiting for an academy recruit right now. We're going to sponsor someone through the police academy. We just hosted a pellet B test last week. We had 5 people come in and take the test. All were successful in passing that test. So all are going to be invited to move forward in the process, and then we'll interview and hopefully find a candidate that meets our needs. And then we would sponsor them through the academy, which starts in September. And then just lastly, just want to wish everyone a happy and safe 4th of July. Thank you.
Allie?
Evening, Mayor, council members. Just to report back, we had our movie night this last Saturday. It was a great event, a great turnout from our community. We worked with Michael Campos from previous meetings. He came out. Overall, it was a great night. Thank the community and all the sponsors that are helping make this possible. With that, we have our last farmers market. That farmers market is this Friday. We will have a car show on Main Street, as well as the market from 4 to 8 p.m. I'd invite any community member or anybody interested in being part of it. Come on out, check us out. We'll be there from 4 to 8 p.m. this Friday. With that, I can answer any questions that y'all may have.
Oh, I do. I have a question.
Sure.
Who's the cars that are coming? Is that from West Side Auto?
That's correct. It's, I believe, Dan Gomes or Danny Gomes, and it's the West Side Auto Club.
Thank you, Allie.
You're welcome.
Lou?
Just a brief update on our online payment system. Out of our 3,500 accounts, after the first month, we've got 1,500 that have signed up to pay online. So far, nobody's had problems switching over. It seems to be working pretty smooth.
Nice. Thank you.
Good evening. Oh, excuse me. So a quick update on slurry seals. We have a pre-construction meeting this Thursday. We're anticipating to get started on that project by August. Excuse me. In addition to that, we will be at the Friday market doing an outreach for our safety action plan, our Safe Streets for All part of that program, and we welcome anybody to stop by the booth to ask some questions. We're going to have some poster boards that allow for community engagement on where community members feel they have either ran into some safety issues with the road or walking, biking, driving. Along with, we do have a survey online, and if you come into Public Works office or online, there's a survey to take to help us gain some community involvement and input for that program. And we're currently working on the T Street corridor, Hardin, those corridor project, the Newman corridor project, to revitalize that and start moving that project forward, which is timing with the Safe Streets for All, that safety action plan. It's good timing because they share some elements, and I can answer any questions. Thank you.
Thomas? Owen?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Just want to remind everyone, have a safe 4th of July. We will be out full force. We have zero tolerance for illegal fireworks. Also, just want to remind you, leave your fireworks out. Like, take a bucket and leave your fireworks out and put them in the bucket. Let them soak overnight before you throw them in the trash can. I gave you forewarning because we will have a trash fire every year. So please soak your fireworks before you put them in the dumpster. And then if you are going to put them in your trash can, do not put it against your house. Been there. A couple of stove fires this last week and a half. So just want to remind everyone, keep a fire extinguisher in your home. We had one that used, actually both of them used an extinguishing agent, so it was able to keep that fire isolated to the stove and reduce the damage to the home. Also, a couple vegetation fires already. Some of those are caused by fireworks, so we're out and trying to enforce that and protect you guys from that. And then one today we had was from some construction work. They were cutting with a saw. So just understand, every little spark can start a fire. And then another one was a control burn that got a little bit outside its boundaries. So with the wind and the heat and the dry grass, it doesn't take much to start those fires. Again, I just want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July, and we'll see you out there. Any questions I can answer?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Pro Tem?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Councilman Pittman?
I just want to wish everybody a safe 4th of July. Nothing to report.
Nothing.
Same. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and happy 4th of July. And with that, I'll ask for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
First, second.